when we played Tennessee on his stiff arm. We've seen it once again many times that he's got a hell of a stiff arm, and we work drills specifically, obviously, this week when we go against Derek every time we play him. So his stiff arm is something that we work on each week when we play him.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Thanks, John. Let's go over to JP.
Hey, Todd. Jonnu Smith in week 2 had a couple touchdowns on you. I know he's limited on the report this week, but when he's out there and healthy, what makes him such a tough matchup?
Well, his size and his speed is a tough matchup. Obviously we were looking at the injury report yesterday to see where he was at, and he was limited participation. But he's a tough draw just because he can run so well and he's a big body. I think he runs very precise routes for a tight end. To me, he's one of the better tight ends in the league that you got to defend. Obviously, there's a couple that are elite, but he's one of the best ones. And just the size and the speed, it's a tough matchup.
And then the follow-up that the guy triggering the ball for this offense, Tannehill, looking at him from week 2 to now, how much has he grown, changed as the year has gone along, or has he been the same guy a lot of the year?
I think he's been very consistent. But like I said, it all starts with their running game when they can get that rolling, and then obviously the play action game is what Tannehill really thrives on, is the play action game. So, we got to be able to hopefully stop the run where we, again, get him in situations where it's got to be a drop back instead of the play action. Your linebackers are trying to get downhill and all of a sudden they drop one behind you. So, to me, he's playing very consistent. Obviously, he doesn't make a lot of poor decisions with the football. And, but to me, it all starts with their running game and their play action.
Thanks, JP. All right, let's go to Cassidy and then Demetrius.
Hey, Coach. Now I'm curious, what goes into preparing for a stiff arm?
Well, we just do drills and stuff. We emphasize this week, obviously chopping it and then trying to get your eyes to his thighs and stuff. So it's just one thing, everybody works on it, but this week we specifically set time aside to make sure we're working on how to defeat a stiff arm.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cassidy. Let's go over to Demetrius and then Gene.
Hey, Coach, could you just talk about the growth you've seen from Caleb on Chase, especially after Sunday's performance against the Vikings?
I think it's obviously it's been a process for KC, but we've always seen him play hard, and we knew that the athleticism and stuff was there. I think he's done a nice job of really working on his technique. To get better, you see some different pass rush moves instead of just the only one that he really used early on in the season. So you see his technique developing, and it showed on Sunday. I thought he played extremely well. He was physical in the run game, and he had some disruption on the quarterback. And I think, the intelligence of the young man, the work ethic of the young man, he's only going to get better in time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Demetrius. Let's go to Gene and then Brian.
Okay. Hey, Todd. Could you just talk a little bit about, what you've seen, let's say in the last month, why this defensive unit seems to, I guess, do a little bit more of a consistent job, less giving up of the huge plays? I mean, is it about better gap responsibility? Are we watching players just, maybe the light goes on for one or two more of them that maybe wasn't there in September and October? What do you see as the key difference as to why this unit has been playing at least with a little bit more consistency?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is they've just gotten better. We've played a lot of young players, and some, like we were looking at our unit yesterday. We look out there and 3 or 4 of them wasn't even on our team when we broke training camp, and now they're starting for us. So I think it takes some time to learn the system, know what's expected of them within the system. And, through trial and error, they're learning how to play. And I think they're getting better. And that's the biggest thing, we look at as a coaching staff and we talk about is continue to get these guys better. They'll make plays and give them an opportunity to compete on Sunday.
Thanks.
Thanks, Gene. All right, let's finish up with Brian.
Hey, Todd.
What's happening? You're not barbecuing today?
Not today.
No.
I will be later, though. Hey, so early in the season, when you face this guy, Derrick Henry, in the first 5 weeks of the season, you've held him to 3.4 yards per carry. But when you faced him in the last 5 weeks of the season, it's been over 7. What's different about him between September and December?
I think obviously he gets stronger as the season goes, and I think at times when you play a lot, and maybe if you don't, I think defensively you get a little tired also. But we got to do a better job of tackling late in the year. That's what it was when you look at the last couple years when we played him. I think the 99-yarder, I think there was 5 missed tackles on that play. So we got to do a better job of tackling. Usually early on in the year, because you're coming out of training camp and stuff like that, you've really emphasized tackling and all those good things. But late in the year, you're not practicing in pads as much. Obviously, you're not hitting and tackling. So I think that's been some of it. That's why we're really emphasizing we got to be able to tackle this guy. And then obviously here it is late in the year again.
Thanks, Washer.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your
All
time.
right. Thank you. Have fun.
Thanks, everyone.
Good seeing you, Mark. Good questions today.